bus going round and round. Got the wheels on the bus going round and round. Wheels going round and round, yeah. And we rolling through your town, yeah. Hey, round and round and round and round and round. Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome into another episode of the one, the only Big Ugly Sports Show, brought to you by the Bank of Dudley since 1905. We are your first source for mediocre, below average, inconsistent. Had to add that in. A Bus fan told me I needed to add that in. Inconsistent sports coverage. But however you take us, we're glad you're with us today. Exciting show today. A lot going on. Been a minute since we've been on. So let's dive right in. Let me bring on who's in here with us this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, he is 50% of the Big Ugly Sports Show. He's a UGA graduate and a die-hard dog. He can make a bottle of mouthwash stink. His bottom row looks like he bit a brick. The one, the only pride of Buddy Johnson Road. Put your hands together for Adam Hightower.
Morning, fellas. Glad you finally showed up, Jim.
Yeah, man, here we are. Let's see what kind of... Oh, boy, I got all kind of stuff happening right now, boys. There we go. All right, guys, we got a special guest with us this morning. I could think of a lot of things to say about him, but the only thing that I guess means the most is he is the father of cameraman Jason. He is the founder of Thompson Farms, where they do have the melons and the nuts. We've got a special guest this morning. I'm talking about Mike M.T. Thompson.
Glad to be here, guys. Glad to be here.
He bailed us out. MT bailed us out. So... sorry about not having a show last week. The hurricane got us. It got us, didn't it?
Yeah, it was tough times down there.
Tough times, no power. I mean, could we have gotten the show in?
Probably,
but we didn't. So here we are, and y'all let us know you weren't happy with us not having a show, and so
sometimes you take something away, let people appreciate it. You know what I mean? So, and now they've been clamoring for more, and so here we are back.
We'll see if it works.
Yeah.
Hey, numbers won't lie. They probably done forgot about us, moved on, but excited to be here. A lot to talk about today. It's been 2 weeks off. Lots happening in college football. Lots happening with the Falcons. So we're going to stay pretty heavy football today. But before we do any of that, we do need to take a moment here to recognize Coach Mike Thompson over here.
Mr. 500.
Mr. 500. So MT gets his 500th win yesterday. Was it yesterday?
Yesterday, yeah.
Against Veterans?
Veterans, yeah.
To claim the region title. Is that right?
No, we actually had claimed the region title earlier in the week. We had a couple of region games left. But with the hurricane and all, a couple of those Augusta schools either just forfeited out or just called them no contest. So that was really the first game we played since we actually clinched it. We technically clinched it, I guess, when we beat Harlem a couple weeks ago. But
okay.
So we just kind of celebrated it last night with the region championship. But yeah, it's a long time. It's a longevity, I think, more than good coaching, but good kids and longevity.
Well, you could be a coach a long time and just lose a lot of games instead of winning a lot of games.
Well, that's true. That's true. Yeah. But mainly good kids. We've had really good kids for 20 plus years and good assistant coaches. I can't say enough about Coach Jody Pollock. He's phenomenal in what he does, and him and Coach Swope, I couldn't do it. We couldn't do it.
I said this off camera a while ago, but I want to say it again. There ain't nothing like false humility, boy. I tell you what, I enjoy it. I enjoy that.
Oh man!
As somebody who's pretty fair at that, I see it. I know it when I see it.
No, we've been really successful over the years, and we've had really great kids and good coaches, good assistant coaches. I can't take credit for it. I've had a lot of good coaches to help me.
Yeah, wow, he's most humble.
Yeah, most humble.
What? How many years have you been the head coach at West Arkansas?
This is 21.
That's a lot of wins over that amount of time.
Yeah.
What's that over? That's over 20 wins a season. Average.
I don't know. I hadn't done the math.
Sure you have. I hadn't done the math. 23.
Done the math on it. I'm not great at math anyway, but yeah, it's a lot of wins. But like I said, it's really good kids. We've had great players over the years that work really hard.
That's 23 wins a year, and just to put it into perspective, we're gonna brag on you a little bit, MT. We're gonna brag on you. How many games do y'all typically play in a season?
You can play as many as 30.
That's the most.
That's the most. Yeah. In the regular season, we've played as many as 44 one season. We played probably the max games you could probably play more than 30 at that point, but maybe 2011 or something, we played 44 games in a season. But normally we play 26-30, depending on rainouts and games that just get canceled for whatever reason. But and then depending on how deep we go into playoffs, and you know how the playoffs work. If you win, you don't play as many. But if you lose, have to get in loser practice. Sometimes you play more games. But you usually 28-ish. Average.
Well, there was a question that was posed by somebody.
So
They asked me to. They want to know what took so long.
What took so long? Yeah, I don't know. I was probably holding them back. That's what took so long. Had it been anybody else, I'd have probably got there a lot faster.
well, I can't. As a former head coach, I can't relate to you. It took me. I might have got 50 wins in my 8 years as a head coach. I have no idea. Maybe not even that. But Raji was here. If he was here, he's about the only person that could relate.
And Mitch.
Success.
Mitch, really.
Yeah.
Mitch.
I forgot
Mitch
about
maybe.
Law.
Mitch maybe. Let's don't. Raji?
No, Raji.
Well, Raji's. I mean, yeah.
That man likes to brag about third place finishes. He likes to brag about how good he's doing finishing third place.
Really, Mitch and I.
You can't leave height out on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Coach on record.
I'll give Mitch. They do really well. Y'all know we have really successful wrestling at our school. I'd like to say we have really successful wrestling, softball. Cheerleading's been very successful over the years, and
Tennis.
Tennis. Danny Johnson did a great
Cross-country.
job. Cross country with
Baseball.
Baseball's been really good the last several years. Really, everything, I guess.
Well, now that basketball's heading in the direction, you can throw basketball in there. Get me out of there.
Girls basketball is dragging us down mainly because of their head coach, not because of the kids.
Oh, and typical Raj, we had the show. We're doing the show on Thursday this week for him, and as you can see, you don't see his body up here, so he wasn't able to make it. But that is big time, man. 500 wins is a ton. I don't know. I'd be interested to know, and I'm sure you don't know this because you're too, most humble. But I'd like to know where that stacks up in high school softball, like fast pitch, because fast pitch has only been around for
94-ish.
Since you've been. No, you weren't the head coach yet then.
No, I think it started in 94, 95, somewhere right in there.
You were busy winning national titles down in Brewton Parker back in there.
Yeah, I was still a Baron back then.
Them fits down there.
God, all he does is win everywhere he goes.
I wish I had that song queued up. But that's big.
That
time.
reminds me when y'all remember Gary Morton when he came to East Lawrence?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
First game, we're playing Truitland County. He cues it up. All I do is win. We lost.
Was this when Eddie was trying to get his grandma? Or was that before that?
That was before. I think that was before. But it was first game as him as head coach. We played as we run it out onto the field. Lost and continued to lose.
Is it one? Did you know? I mean, you were from East, and were you coaching with him?
Yeah.
At that time? Was it a team you felt like y'all could win, or when he played it, you were like, this ain't.
Oh, I felt good about it.
Okay, so there was
Wing T coming in. Gary had a really good record coming out of Florida. He had really good players down in Florida. A little showbread on that on the east side.
good staff there though. Wood and I.
Yeah.
Law.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Law just showing up. Ain't been at practice 2 days a week. Shows up on Friday telling people to blitz. That ain't a call. Claiming he hates it when I tell that story, but I've seen it.
It does make you mad.
He gets angry. I've never done that.
What did he do?
We like if let's say he coached outside linebackers, and if they were supposed to play base or something, he'd tell them to go. Like he just had a good instinct. He needed them to go.
Like he's making eye contact with them and sending them.
Go. Or if we had a rule like if motion away, we'd have a go or something like. But because he had not been at practice, maybe he was going off the week before's rules, because some you game plan and change and stuff, whatever. But just roguing it out there.
Do it, Law. All right, well.
He won't appreciate that story.
We do need, listen, that's for MT. As well as they're standing too. They were standing when they were clapping. Well-deserved standing ovation.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
And we do give you a hard time. We're going to continue to, but that is very, very cool and a big milestone. So as we transition here to the Atlanta Falcons, we are going to talk for the Falcons a little bit, but make sure wherever you're listening, you are subscribed. Give us a thumbs up, like, comment on YouTube especially. That's where we can see your comments. We can always count on Tate the Great to throw out some comments for us, but we love to hear your guys' feedback and everything like that. So actually, before we talk Falcons, Storm, the hurricane. Did you guys? How'd y'all come out on that?
Well, we fared pretty well out in Dexter. We had a lot of limbs down, a lot of cleanup, but nothing major. Had one big tree across the road there close to my house, but I felt like, considering a lot of damage that everybody else had, we did pretty good out where I live, so it wasn't too bad.
No, yeah, I was good. The golf course had several trees down, but the board members, like Lisa Baggett, Dana Pattisall, and those folks that worked out there, Fountain and McDonald, they got out there and took care of everything out the course, ready to roll again.
At least you get a chainsaw there and tear it up.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you did.
That Dana Pattisall, I tell you what, man, hats off of that cat. Cleaning up the golf course, getting everybody's electricity back on.
Yeah,
man,
he does a good job.
Those guys over at Oconee EMC, man, did a great job.
Man, we can't say enough about them jokers just working.
Man, they got after it. I know they've been busy the last 2 weeks, but them guys have been getting after it and getting everybody back in service. So.
Clark Hicks, Bubba Oliver, who else we know?
Logan Williamson.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, appreciate it.
I wonder if any of those guys will be, which I'd probably be hard to after coming off this, but I wonder if any of them are headed down to Florida.
Maybe. Nobody had it worse through the storm, though, than Eddie Floyd, what I heard.
Junior.
Yeah, he had, golly, so much damage out there. All those pine trees, just money.
Now, nothing wrong with his house.
No,
Nothing.
family
Kids,
fine, house is fine. Meemaw's house, there's everything fine, shop fine, but they had pine trees down.
It's tough having 1,000 acres.
You got 1,000 acres of raked pine straw laying out there, and it's just hard times out there.
What's tough is he's going to have them boys out there cleaning it up. He's going to be supervising all them youngins he's got out there cleaning up. Boy, get over there and get them trees up.
I guarantee you, he's man, I got to get the insurance adjuster out there, man. Oh, man. You just wouldn't believe the damage. It's a catastrophe out here.
You got his crop insurance agent.
Yeah, he'd never say the word catastrophe. That's too big a word for him.
He did tell me at work the other day that, and he, because he seriously could be. I mean, it's going to be a year better before we get where we can go, where we can travel our property. like he wanted me to feel bad for him. I said, Eddie, I can walk mine in 5 minutes right now, front to back, and cover the whole thing.
Oh, I guarantee you, when deer season comes in, he'll be traveling.
He'll find his
traveling right at that deer stand.
Man alive! I tell you what, I found out through the storm though, and that brings it up with Eddie. But my parents back home, lines, it got hit terribly, and I've seen pictures, and I mean it is bad, and it's going to take them a long time to recover. But even talking to people from Dublin, one thing I've noticed through this storm is it's almost like it's a bragging contest on who got it worse. Like you can't have it worse than somebody else. Like somebody's mom, I'm not gonna say her name, she came out to talk to us when we were out at Jay's, and that's all. It was like somebody was saying, "Man, we got it." Y'all didn't get anything like us. Like it's almost a bragging
point of pride, and we survived.
Yeah. We ain't got no roof, but we here. So I hadn't seen many updates this morning, or I hadn't, obviously, because I was late. But have y'all seen it? How Florida did it?
I hadn't. No. And I kind of want to circle back to something. One thing I've enjoyed on Facebook is people giving the daily updates of no power at their house. and it's like it reads like a journal from a settler from the 1800s.
Day 10.
Day 10. Still no power.
Oh man. I tell you what, it was not fun without power, which Dexter got their lights on pretty quickly.
Yeah, ours came back on that Friday afternoon, probably about 3.
Some might say it's in poor taste that I'm making fun of people with no power.
As they're sitting here with no power as we speak. Now, most people around here have got it back, so we're on the upside of that. Anything else going on before we go to the commercial break here? Any other happenings in your life, in the world, before we hit the Falcons and everything on the second half here?
Let's roll.
Exciting, huh? All right, well, it's time for our first commercial break. On the other side, we are going to talk Atlanta Falcons, MT, big Falcons fan, and a lot going on there. And then we got a special guest caller on the back end segment through. We'll do our picks and talk some college football. So y'all stay with us. We'll be right back.
In the game of life, your choice of banks can make the difference between a championship performance and a trip to the showers. Since 1905, Bank of Dudley's been Middle Georgia's hometown banking team with a solid roster of banking products offering competitive rates and online services services that help you cross your financial goal line. Come experience true relationship banking. Local people, local decisions, local banking. Bank of Dudley, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Go Dogs.
This is Brad Meeks, owner of Brian's Giant Subs. Thanks for listening to the Big Ugly Sports Podcast. Come see us today to grab your favorite sub, 1632 Veterans Boulevard in the Oaks Shopping Center, Dublin, Georgia.
For all your HVAC needs, please call Elite Comfort Solutions. We specialize in commercial and residential HVAC. The number is 833-483-HVAC and the website is www.elitecomfortsolutions-inc.com. Call for a free quote today.
Big Peach Car Wash, located on Highway 80 across from Walmart in Dublin. Coming this fall. I hadn't washed my truck in 6 years. I'm breaking that streak this fall.
Welcome back to the Big Ugly Sports Show, brought to you by the Bank of Dudley. Thank you to all of our sponsors you just heard right here. Make sure you're not fast forwarding through our commercial break. Now, I know how y'all get when you listen to a podcast. You zoom through them commercial breaks. You need to hear what those folks got to say. They are our valued sponsors, and we couldn't do it without them. So thanks to them. Let's talk a little Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons in the past hadn't really had a whole lot to talk about with them, but as we sit, they've won 2 in a row. They're sitting 3-2 atop the division, headed to play at Carolina this week, which Carolina's 1-4, not very good. So you'd like to think it should be a win there, but first, have y'all given the Falcons a whole lot this year? And second, is this something that can sustain, barring any injuries? As you look at their schedule so far, every game they've played in has been a one-score game, win or loss. Lost 18-10 to the Steelers, beat the Eagles by 1, lost to the Chiefs by 5, beat the Saints by 2, and beat the Bucks by 6. So, Height, where you at on what's happening in the ATL?
So here's what I normally do with the Falcons. Beginning of the year, I'll watch a couple games. I realize that they're terrible. They're not going to win anything, and so I don't waste my time. This year, they actually have a good quarterback. I'm going to watch more games until they give me reason not to.
Until they turn terrible.
Yeah. But I don't think that they will. The defense seems pretty good. Seems like the offensive players they've been drafting over the last few years, Drake London, Kyle Pitts, they finally have a guy that can throw them the ball and get them involved in the offense. So, and we got Bijan Robinson, who's really a fun player to watch. Mm-hmm. So I think it's sustainable. The division's not very good, I don't think. So I'd like to think, they'll continue on winning games.
Yeah, I kind of agree there a little bit. I'm more of a fair weather Falcon fan. My family are huge Falcons.
I was about to say, I knew somebody over there was diehard.
Jace is diehard. Like he'll get his feelings hurt if the Falcons. I mean, he's had it. If the Falcons lose, he's had a terrible week. He starts it off bad with the Falcons lose. My wife's the same way. She schedules her Sunday afternoon around the Falcons, and her mom and dad. I love that. Her mom and dad are the same way. They're huge Falcons fans. Her dad's been watching the Falcons since they became the Falcons. So, but I'm more of a fair weather, so I'm with them. I'll watch bits and pieces, but I'm kind of like Hot though. I think they got a chance to make the playoffs. I think they got a chance to win a division this year. They're pretty solid on defense. I love their skilled kids. Their skilled players are great. And I'm like, we got a quarterback that I think can get on the ball. What concerns me probably is offense and defensive lines. Can we protect Cousins and keep him off his back, keep him healthy? I think that'd be one of the key. And can we get a good pass rush and play good defense up front to keep people from scoring on us? But yeah, I think we got a chance to make a deep run. I think we can make the playoffs and possibly get to the NFC Championship game.
Are y'all you slated to attend the game this year? I know normally y'all will catch a game.
We haven't been in a couple years. We had season tickets. My father-in-law had season tickets there for probably, 6 or 8 years. And we would go, almost every home game. Somebody would, but we hadn't had season tickets in a few years. But we may try to make a game, but my wife likes to sit at home and sit on the couch.
That's way more comfortable.
Sounds like,
yeah.
Man, I need to come over and watch the game with her. Big Falcons fan, hang out.
Hey, you can count on her.
Does she make snacks and stuff, or?
That would be a no.
Well, if we can.
Occasionally she might make some.
She's the only snack you need.
Yeah.
Easy, Ike.
Yeah. The family show.
But with the Falcons, I will say it just goes to show you what a quarterback in the NFL can mean, because everybody was saying Drake London was a bust. You know, we drafted him high.
Kyle
he hasn't
Pitts,
done anything.
yeah.
Which Kyle Pitts, not a bust, but still is not. Last game he had a big game, and that was the first big game that he's had that I can remember. So the verdict's still out on him, as far as the jury's still out, whatever it's called, on him of how good he can be. Obviously he's uber talented, but Drake London has consistently this year been a big time play guy for the Falcons, and this was a guy who everybody was ready to write off with Desmond Ridder trying to throw in the ball. So
Desmond Ridder,
Kirk making that $180 million over 4 years,
and it's he just slicing and dicing out there. It's fun to see, and it's been so long since the Falcons had anybody that you thought, yep, you know what, this guy can do it. He can throw it. He can make every throw. He can lead fourth quarter comeback. And Matt Ryan in his prime had to be the last guy that we actually felt good about.
And it was pretty cool the other night when the Falcons did beat the Bucs. You know, Kirk set the single game record of passing on the night that they honored Matt Ryan in the Ring of Honor. So
Matt Ryan is a Hall of Fame quarterback,
no doubt.
Yeah, I agree.
No doubt.
I agree.
I think he could come back right now and help several NFL teams.
No, I don't know about that. He just, when he was with Indy, 2 years ago, he couldn't get it done.
Yeah, you'd have taken him back when we had Ritter back there, though.
Yeah, yeah.
Begging for him to come back. So, a lot going on today, man. Excitement. You can feel the buzz. I'm kind of gotten to the point. I'm like you, Hyde. I would normally watch them at the beginning of the year. I'd be fired up. I'd schedule my Sunday around them.
You'd be posting your rise up,
and then after a few games, just kind of die off. But the buzz is staying with them. You can tell that just watching on TV, the crowd's fired up. And the last two home games have been on a walk-off field goal and a walk-off touchdown in overtime. So, place just going nuts.
Yes, it's a tough place to play in Atlanta when you get that crowd involved in.
Mm-hmm.
We went to a lot of games at the old Georgia Dome, and I noticed over the years that we went, I noticed there was basically three types of fans at the Falcons games at the Georgia Dome. In the lower bowl, it was the die-hard, stand the whole game. It was serious. They were serious. Second level was more, they're fans, they cheered. Third level was just casual folks. They're just there because somebody gave them free tickets. They got the cheapest thing they could get, and they were there for the snacks. So you couldn't hardly watch a game up there if you were sitting up there because folks were getting up and walking. You'd have to stand and let them by. But that when you get the Falcons fans rolling now, it's tough. I've been to some good games, some Sunday night games up there, and 8 o'clock starts where folks been sitting on that parking lot all afternoon long.
Getting right.
And that lower bowl at the old Georgia Dome it'd be wild now. It'd be crazy. It'd be a good time. But yeah, you get the excitement going in Atlanta, and they'll get behind that team now. I could see us making a good run here.
Kirk said he loves to see that crowd swag surfing up there.
Yeah.
Swag and the surfing.
Yep.
All right. Let's talk a little college football. So we can go back a couple weeks if we like to. Height, you got any? I'll start with you, Georgia, Alabama. We hadn't really discussed Georgia coming off of an L, and some would say that's why we didn't have the show because Georgia lost. And you may say that because it's been so long since we lost a regular season game. But
here's the thing: that game, I don't, I cannot understand what happened in the first quarter. It's hard to wrap my mind around them being so unprepared or so intimidated or whatever the case may be. But it was a train wreck. But then I also can't understand how they came back and just battled and almost won that game. But I was really proud to see them do that because it would have been easy to just roll over and just wear that loss the way, you know what I mean?
28 rocks, tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes me wonder, and I certainly, Kirby wouldn't do anything like this, but it makes me wonder, I know from my experience as a coach, I'm always looking, especially throughout the early part of the season, to get my girls beat. I'm trying to find some really good competition to get them beat, to try to humble them a little bit, to try to get them back to the practice field and say, hey, look, we didn't do a very good job at this. We got to do better. If we're going to get to where we want to be, we got to do this. So it makes me wonder, did Kirby it's going to do us good to get beat by somebody early because we still going to make the playoffs. We get beat, we'll humble them a little bit. They'll get hungry. They'll come back and work harder. So from my standpoint, it makes me think: did we not prepare like we felt like we needed to on purpose to see how they would respond, or did we just get caught, they just caught us a little bit. We wasn't ready for that. I don't know, but
I couldn't imagine Kirby not doing his best, especially with the schedule being the way it is. You're on the road at Texas, on the road at Ole Miss, and you play Tennessee, a good Tennessee team. If Alabama was the only really tough game, I could see, him I could see where you're coming from on that. But losing the first game with 3 other tough games, I just couldn't see him, I do see the value in an early loss, but I couldn't see him wanting to say, yeah, let's kind of dog it a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think at that level, and I wouldn't at any level. But sometimes you that loss is not a bad loss; it's a good loss.
Yeah, it for some reason when you were talking there, it reminded me of that story that Greg Maddox had where he was facing Barry Bonds or somebody, threw him up. Set him up and threw him a big. I was Jeff Bagwell, man. Anyway, home run ball because he knew they were going to play him in the playoffs.
He was setting him up for the playoffs. He knew he'd see him in a big situation.
So I mean, I like I said, I definitely see the value in a loss. Kind of refocusing the guys. We had a long streak of regular season games, won, and you want everybody's best. That's on your team. You want your guys locked in, and I mean, like I said, it's not a bad loss, I don't think.
Yeah, I would say Kirby was not as devastated as many Georgia fans were because it had been so long since we lost a regular season game. It was uncharted territory, but I'm thinking, like y'all, from a coach's standpoint, he was walking there thinking, all right, well, that's kind of what we needed, because even these guys at that level, they the same type we deal with at high school. They get that arrogance, a little bit about them, don't think they can be beat, and so maybe it was more good than bad. But it does give you an early season loss, which poses a question to you guys, because you can see that I think is Texas the only undefeated SEC team at this point. The SEC's kind of beating each other up. Can Georgia, obviously they're a playoff team with 2 losses. Are they a playoff team with 3 losses?
I think it probably depends on who they lose to.
Let's say it's Texas and Tennessee. Or Texas, Ole Miss. Let's just say Texas, Tennessee.
Well, if Ole Miss wins the rest of their games, well, it's tough because Ole Miss plays Alabama, so Alabama's got a bad loss to Vandy. Well, if Ole Miss beats, Alabama, then it just doesn't make Georgia's losses look as forgivable.
All right, let's say this. Let's say Georgia takes an L to, we'll say Texas, which I don't even. This is ignorant of me, but I'm not even sure they're still having the SEC championship this year, right?
Yeah, but they're just taking the top 2, so there's no conferences anymore. I mean, there's no divisions within the conference.
So let's say you've got, let's just call it Texas 1. Let's say Georgia has 2 losses. And somehow, or Alabama has 2 losses. It don't have to be Georgia. Has 2 losses. They're the number 2 seed in the SEC. They play in the SEC championship and lose. It gives them their 3rd loss. So are they now penalized where, let's say you've got that other team, that Georgia, Alabama, that didn't play in the SEC championship, sitting with 2 losses still?
I don't know. I don't know what the people would do because they're so unpredictable with who they want in the playoffs. They don't always put the most deserving. They put the ones that they say are the best.
If they're a top-ranked team and they've been ranked for the most of the year, and you would think that Georgia's going to be up there, same way with Alabama, they're going to be a top 10 or 12 ranked team all year long unless they just tank, and I don't see either one of them doing that. I think it's going to be hard to keep them out of the playoffs with 3 losses, either one of them.
But was it 12 team playoff, right?
Yeah.
So, all right, so let's say Georgia comes in, they're going to lose, let's say they lose another game, so they're coming into the SEC championship game
10-2,
10-2, and they're ranked 8, maybe 9, something like that. Okay, then they lose in the SEC championship game. Are they dropping out of the top 12
to a no loss Texas, or to a 1-loss Texas, or 1-loss Alabama? Yeah, I think they get in.
Okay.
It's hard to keep them out. If they lose to Alabama twice in the same season, Alabama's in the top 5. It's going to be hard to keep them out of the playoffs.
Speaking of Alabama, man, you talk about Kalen DeBoer coming out of that Georgia game smelling like roses, chest poked out. Everybody in Bama, man, Nick Saban, we moved on, blah, blah, and then
SEC humbled is what I like to see. He got SEC humbled quick.
I hate I missed it. Now, I'm not one of these people. I've seen so many people posting about, like, I don't get all fired up when somebody that was like a rival of Georgia's loses. Like, how good they lost, whatever. But it really doesn't help Georgia for them to lose.
Right. Agreed.
And also, I don't get, like, my team didn't beat them, so why do I care?
Yeah.
But all these people posting on Facebook, all these memes and stuff, whatever, about Vandy beating Alabama and gloating over a win that your team didn't even participate in, like that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, at the White Trash Bash this weekend, they had a TV up, and people were going crazy. All Georgia fans going crazy over that game when they won, which, I was not going crazy. I know it didn't help us, but there was something inside of me that enjoyed, because Alabama's been so dominant for so long. It felt
just
good.
as a college football fan, it's fun to see upsets.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I am. It was more fun just to see the upset, not necessarily because it was Alabama.
Yeah,
I'm like you. It don't really benefit Georgia any. Being a Georgia fan, don't really. Actually, it probably hurts us more than anything.
Yeah, it does.
To lose to Vandy. But listen, hey, how exciting was that? They're good for those Vandy fans, and all those students in the student section. Good for them. That was exciting. Can you imagine the excitement there in Nashville when they, the whole town that was probably a great atmosphere to be in.
There were a lot of upsets last weekend. Michigan lost, USC lost.
5 out of the top 11.
How
about Vandy them taking them goalposts over a mile to the river? That is awesome.
Oh,
but
that is good.
Shout out to Vandy.
That's got to be just a hangover from the Georgia game.
Yeah,
right. Overlooking Vandy because, as Nick Saban said, the only easy opponent stadium to play in is Vanderbilt. Well, then you see where they played that over the Jumbotron after the game. I thought that was pretty cool.
Well, which is probably true still. Like,
no doubt
of the places to go in the SEC.
Do you think?
And you add the construction they're having on one end of it, so it's even less.
Listen. I want you to, this conspiracy theory right here. How Nick Saban hates the media and talks about how it's rat poison, right?
Yeah.
Well, Nick Saban gave Vandy the rat poison, right?
That's right.
Well, actually, he was the rat poison for Alabama, right? And then he was the bulletin board material for Vandy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He did that on purpose.
He's the reason they lost.
Yes, so that he would look better.
Yeah, I don't think he needs to do that to look better.
No,
that man's a Hall of Famer. He's the greatest to ever do it.
Yeah, but it could happen.
Vandy was 0-60 against top 5 opponents in the history of.
That sounds like a Raji theory right there.
Oh yeah, for
definitely a Raji theory.
Yeah,
no doubt about it. So,
well, that's exciting.
It is.
It's really exciting to watch. That's what makes college football great. Is games like that, and I think that's what makes the SEC tough. Every week, I don't care who you're playing, you better go in. If you're on the road, you better go in and be ready to go because they got good players at everybody. Vandy's got good players, and they get hot and get rolling. They can knock anybody out.
You already think Georgia beats Kentucky. Kentucky goes and beats Ole Miss. Yeah. Arkansas. You think they're no good? You think they're the doormat? They're the ones that beat Tennessee, right? Mm-hmm. No, is that right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Arkansas beats Tennessee. Vandy beats Alabama, and I'm sure it'll happen more throughout the year. Somebody's going to lose a game they shouldn't lose.
Yeah.
And it's just you just never know what's going to happen.
We're the only team really in SEC right now, other than Texas still being undefeated. But we're the only actual team that lost to someone that when we looked at the schedule said we could lose that game. Right. Tennessee fans weren't counting Arkansas, Ole Miss, not Kentucky, and Bama definitely not Vandy. But a lot of work left to be done. So, but yeah, it's time for our second commercial break. On the other side, we've got our special guest picker for the week, and we're going to dive in. You're going to get to hear the expert picks here at the round table. So y'all make sure you stay with us. We got a really quick commercial break. Again, don't zoom through it. We'll be right back.
Bank of Dudley is proud to sponsor the Big Ugly Sports Show. Wherever you're listening to your favorite sports show, you can also be banking with your favorite bank. Bank of Dudley offers mobile and online banking platforms to make managing your money easy. Get on that Bank of Dudley bus. Bank of Dudley since 1905. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to the Big Ugly Sports Show, brought to you by the Bank of Dudley. We are in our third and final segment here. Been talking a little college football, and now it's time for our picks for the week. And so we didn't have a picker last week, and I haven't done my homework on what Whitney Hobbs did. She's going to be upset about that, but it's been a tough hurricane got us. So we'll have to see where she falls on that, and I'll have to update the bus team standings as we go. But without saying anything else, I'd like to welcome in our guest caller for this week. Welcome to the Big Ugly Sports Show, Mr. Reed Waldrep. How you doing, Mr. Waldrep?
Good, chill. What's going on, guys?
We just sitting here. It's me, Height, and Coach Mike Thompson filling in this morning. He's live on the set as well. So
glad to have another guy from Dexter in here on the show.
Nothing exudes greatness like guys from Dexter. Congratulations on your 500th win yesterday.
Thank you.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit at the top of the show, but that's enough of that. We've praised him enough, Mr. Walter. We kind of got to move on from that. But Raji's from Dexter too. Speaking of that, so you're right. Greatness.
Yeah, he's not really from Dexter.
Greatness.
We're letting him stay there right now. We may kick him out eventually.
I feel like he lives more at your house than he does anywhere else.
He's over a lot.
All right, let's dive into the picks. We'll start. Height, we'll start with you. My picks are on my phone. So, Height, what's the first one we got started right here?
We got Texas minus 14 at Oklahoma.
All right, Height, what you got there? Texas minus 14, big spread for SEC matchup in the.
Yeah, that is a big spread, and that's a big rivalry game there. First time they'll be playing as SEC opponents, but I want to take Oklahoma and the points here. Ooh. I think Texas wins the game, but I'll take Oklahoma.
I think Quinn Ewers is back this week too with Texas. So MT, what you got?
Yeah, that's a huge rivalry game. I think 14 is a lot. I'm gonna also take Oklahoma and the points. I do think Texas wins the game. I like Quinn Ewers a lot, but being a rivalry game like that, I see it being less than 14.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm gonna go against all that. If it was at Oklahoma with that many points, I would probably sway Oklahoma.
Well, it says at Oklahoma.
Well, yeah, but the game's I had to put at somewhere, but the game's actually played in Dallas.
Neutral site.
Yes, and so really more. I don't know if Dallas is closer to where Texas or Oklahoma is, but either way, it is a neutral site, and so I'm gonna take Texas to cover. I think Texas is really good. I think Oklahoma is okay, but I don't think they'll be able to stop Texas. So I'll take Texas to cover. What you got, Waldrep?
Well, this is of the games you gave me. This is the only one I really did any research on, and I just don't think Oklahoma has the coaching staff that Texas does. I think they're still trying to figure out their identity. Oklahoma kind of struggled against Houston and Auburn, so I think Texas covers.
Okay, 2-2 here. All right, Height, what we got next?
Mississippi State at Georgia.
Mississippi.
Yeah, this Invisalign got me.
Tough word on you, right?
Mississippi State plus 33 at Georgia.
All right, MT, what you got?
Well,
that's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points. And normally I would probably go, but hey, I'm not going to bet against my dogs. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs. Right. What you got, Height?
Gosh, that's a pile of points.
It is a pile.
Mississippi State sitting at 1-4.
Yeah, I know they're terrible.
Boys hung up on this. We need to go to Waldrep first.
No, I'll take Mississippi State.
Dogs by 50. Go ahead.
Now say it. Yep. Toledo beat them 41-17. Florida beat them 45-28.
I'll take Mississippi State.
Okay. Waldrep, what you got?
I'm going with Mississippi State here. I think Georgia wins with no problem. Georgia I don't feel like they're headhunting on defense like they've done in the past. And I guess I'm one of those ungrateful Georgia fans. Mike Bobo's offense is one of the most boring things in the world to watch. Georgia wins with no problem, but I'm going to take Mississippi State.
Yeah, 33 is a lot of points, and Georgia could be slightly looking over them. I believe Texas is the next game for Georgia. Am I right on that?
Yeah.
So it could be a little bit of looking past Mississippi State, but as y'all said, Mississippi State just not strong enough to really take advantage of that. I think Georgia wins pretty decidingly, but I do think they cover the 33 points, maybe with a late touchdown at the end after Kirby's got all. Kirby will play them third strings late, and so Mississippi State touchdown there to cut it to 4 scores. All right, game 3, Hike.
Florida at Tennessee. Florida plus 15.5.
This is always a fun game to watch for me. So Florida plus 15.5 at Tennessee. It's at Tennessee. Tennessee got exposed last week against Arkansas by not being able to move the ball down the field and score. I think that was some humble pie for them. I think they're back to the drawing board this week, and I think Florida's just not strong enough to contain them. And Tennessee's defense is much improved, so I'm going to take Tennessee to cover that. Sorry, Tate. I apologize for that, but I am going to take Tennessee. MT?
Yeah, I'm going Tennessee also. Florida's not very good. I think they covered it. I think they win by 3 touchdowns.
It's about time for Sunbelt Billy to get canned.
And Tennessee's going to be angry too.
Yeah, I'll call this a bounce back game for Tennessee. I think they lost last week because they were overlooking Arkansas to this game. So yeah, I'll take Tennessee.
Mr. Waldrep?
Tennessee. No good. Tennessee will destroy Florida. Not even close.
Not even close. Does Sunbelt Billy, y'all, how much time does he have left? He has gotten a couple of wins. They're sitting at 3-2. But this is where that stretch begins for them. This is their remaining schedule. At Tennessee versus Kentucky versus Georgia, at Texas versus LSU versus Ole Miss, and at Florida State. So they about to go through the gauntlet.
That's tough.
So this could be the beginning of the end for Sunbelt.
Probably so.
All right, 4th game. Save the Ohio State one for last.
All right, so Ole Miss minus 2.5 at LSU.
Ole Miss at LSU. MT. All right, Waldrep, we'll lead out with you here.
Okay, this is a hard pick. It is in Baton Rouge at night. I think LSU winds up covering, but it'll be very late in the game. It's going to be a very close game to the end, but LSU will cover.
All right.
I like Ole Miss. It's just a skinny spread here, 2.5 points, not bad.
Toss up.
Yeah, well, I like Jackson Dart here. So,
MT.
I'm going with Hyde on that one. I like Ole Miss. The only thing that's kind of holding me back is that it is in Baton Rouge, and I would think that's a great college football atmosphere. I'm sure those fans down there are really rowdy and get behind them. I'd like to go LSU, but I really think Ole Miss is probably the better team. I think they'll win by field goal.
I'm gonna go LSU winning out right here. I think playing in Death Valley is the deciding factor of this game. I think Ole Miss is the better football team, but I think LSU does what Kirby wants Georgia fans to do at this point, and that's make it difficult to play there, and they do that. They're sitting at 4-1, Ole Miss at 5-1. A lot on the line here as far as playoff. This is just a big game, so give me LSU. I am real disappointed, though, on a separate note, that game and the Ohio State-Oregon game are both at 7:30. We could have done better as far as scheduling, but so we're going to have to be flipping back and forth. All right, Height, what's the last one?
Ohio State minus 4 at Oregon.
And the spread has since changed to 3 here on ESPN, but we always go what it was. So we got Ohio State minus 4 going to Eugene. MT, what you got?
Wow, this is a tough one. I'm not a big fan of either one of these programs, especially Ohio State. If I pull for anybody to lose, that's one team I always pull to lose. But I think they win the game. I think they cover too. So I'm going Ohio State. I just don't know if I don't know if Oregon is as good as maybe they are. I don't know. I think Ohio State is very talented. I think they're extremely talented. I think they're very good. I think they're one of the top, easily 4 teams in the end, if not the number 1 team. You're gonna have a tough time beating them. So I'm taking Ohio State.
And if Ohio State gets past this game, then I mean they got nobody left on that schedule. Penn State, and Michigan, which
this is probably the one they've had circled. I think they come out, they play well. I just think they're the better team.
Scott.
Well, they call Oregon's stadium the Zoo, I believe, right? Dotson Zoo.
No clue.
Anyway, well, they do. But anyway,
that's what we're going with.
And I hate Ohio State. So it's less about who I really think's going to win here, and more about I really want Ohio State to lose, so I'll take Oregon.
And now we hadn't factored in Oregon's got that little bit of that dog in them over there with Dan Lanning. So
they do.
He learned from Kirby. I'm with y'all guys. I hate Oregon. I hate Ohio State. Oregon's got Dan Lanning coach and Dylan Gabriel at quarterback. And I think that they're legit. I do think Ohio State obviously is legit, but I like Oregon here, and I'm excited to see what unis they're going to wear. I feel like they're going to bust out some good ones for this big game. So give me Oregon to win outright is what I will take. Mr. Waldrep, what you got?
I feel like Thompson probably used his brain on this one, and the other two guys went with your heart, and I'm going to go with my heart too. I think Ohio State is the better team, but I really, really want Oregon to win, so I'm going to go with Oregon.
I think we're going to win. I like us on that one. Well, Mr. Waldrep, we appreciate your time, and we got to hurry up and wrap this thing up here a little bit. Because, one thing about me and Hike, we're not going to be late to work today.
No.
And so we got to make sure we get there. But we appreciate you calling in early this morning.
You better check on them this morning when they get there. You better check their time when they clock in.
I will. We'll pull the cameers and see exactly what happens. So.
That red truck's going to come in on 2 wheels.
That's all right.
Easy, boys, easy.
All right, Mr. Waldrep, appreciate you.
All right, thank y'all.
That is Mr. Reed Waldrep, principal at West Lawrence Middle School, and mine and Heights boss. So great of him to call in and see where he stacks up this week. But another game that wasn't on there that I'm interested in, not to watch because it'll be too late, but you got Kansas State and Colorado. Kansas State 4-1, Colorado 4-1. Is Colorado done? Can they? They're 4-1. This is, last year it was they came out and won a couple games and everybody went nuts. Well, now they've come out and they've started 4-1 and everybody's kind of quiet about it. So, is it just been competition, or is Colorado got something down there or up there, over there?
I think it's more competition. I don't think Colorado's ready to run with the big boys for sure. But I like Colorado in this game. I think, they do have some talented players. Coach Prime's done a good job of bringing in some guys and taking a program that has been terrible, and making them relevant again. And that's probably all the people of Colorado wanted was to be relevant in college football again. So he's done that. It's exciting. I like Colorado there. I think they're gonna. I don't see them, making a run for the playoffs. I think they lose 4, 5, 6 games before it's over. But yeah. But
looking at their schedule now, granted, again, Colorado is not a powerhouse, so you can't look at their schedule and say they're going to win these. But if they got Kansas State at home, Kansas State's ranked 18. After that, they go to unranked Arizona. They've got unranked Cincinnati, unranked Texas Tech. Then they have Utah, which Utah always proves to be tough. Unranked Kansas, unranked Oklahoma State. So
they'll probably lose three more games.
Yeah.
Colorado is not a good program. I don't think they're. I think they're an average college football team. The hype, obviously, surrounding Shedeur Sanders, Deion Sanders, and Travis Hunter. People love shiny new things.
Yep.
Yeah, and so that's all that is. It's just a big hype machine. They're not very good, and I don't think that
Travis Hunter is a dog.
Yeah.
He's special.
That dude is special.
Yeah. Oh, he's a phenomenal player. But I'm saying that as a team, they're not.
I'm anxious to see because right now really the buzz is there because obviously with Prime being there, but you do have the Sanders brothers and you have Travis Hunter. Well, they're coming on the back end of their careers over there. So does Prime stay? Is he there just for his kids? I saw a video yesterday, and I don't know if it was legit or not, but Travis Hunter basically saying he's not against staying one more year. If he leaves this year, he's probably number 1 pick. He's not against staying at Colorado for the right price tag. And can any of you guess that price tag?
$5 million.
No clue.
$40 million.
40.
That's what he told him. That's the video. Now he could have been being silly, but that's essentially.
I bet he does stay for $40 million.
That's essentially what would keep him.
There's no point to go to the NFL.
I'd be like that guy from, where was the guy from that had like 9 years at Miami?
Yeah.
If for $40 million, I'd stay there for as long as 9 years.
One more in.
Yep. Oh, I ain't mad over a red shirt.
Whenever Travis Hunter and Shadur and they graduate, Deion's gone. He's not going to stay there.
Like done coaching, you think? Does he try to get into the NFL and work on staff?
Who knows? He's just about PR, and I legit wonder what he's like. I wonder how he is as an actual coach. But being a college football coach, which I've never been one, but
so no experience here.
No experience at all. But I can imagine it being an absolute grind.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And for him, all the things he's accomplished. Like, what's the point? He only did this for his kids, I believe, or to just get some clout. I mean, which he didn't need. He probably just enjoys it.
I think he wants to prove himself as a coach. I think he really has a passion for teaching kids, and all the hoopla that's around him and all. But a man that's played at his level, he knows football.
Yeah,
he knows.
I don't think anybody questions that. I think the question is sustaining the grind that is being a college football coach, and having the long-term commitment to build a program and not just.
Yeah, I think he's one of those guys that when people question him, he wants to prove that he can do it, and people are probably like we are questioning him about, well, is he going to stay once his kids are gone and things like that? I think he's going to be one of those guys. He's going to hang around. He's going to continue coaching. I think what gets him eventually is his health. Yeah, I think his health will eventually get him out.
Well, I hope you're right, because it is fun to have excitement around programs that are not typically.
So I'm gonna pose a question, and we're running short on time here. Is Colorado in college football, is that Deion's peak, or is this a step up? Does he eventually make his way to a quote unquote bigger college football program?
I think he moves on. Tries his hand. I think it's Deion. He wants to prove himself at an elite level program, and let's just face it, Colorado's not an elite level program.
Right.
He wants to go to one of the prime football places. We tease Raji a lot, but I could see him going to FSU.
What if Florida fires Sunbelt Billy
and hires him
and hires Deion?
Man, that would be interesting. But
Florida, then he would never be able to coach Florida State ever after that. That'd be it.
They might disown him.
Man, I don't know. I'm interested to see if he's able to move on. I mean, I don't really know. I'm thinking like you, kind of when he brought some players and we had all these expectations for Colorado to just all of a sudden to be really good, but at the grand scheme, Colorado is just not a very good football program.
Well, coaching at any levels is also about who you can put around you. You can be the greatest head coach ever, but if you can't put quality guys around you. So I think the key to Deion, if he does move on, is can he get quality guys around him that's going to, actually, as a head coach, you probably ain't doing a lot of coaching. Mm-hmm. You're doing a lot of other stuff. Can he get the quality guys around him to coach the kids up and help recruit and things like that? And I think the competitiveness of Deion is going to encourage you. He's going to want to go somewhere different to one of the bigger blue blood type programs and try to prove himself there.
Hey, good luck, Deion. Good luck, my boy. All right, bring us home, boy.
Hey, be sure to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, thebiguglysportshow.com, Spotify, Apple Podcast.
MT, you got any closing thoughts?
None.
We do appreciate MT for filling in this morning. Again, thanks to all of our sponsors for allowing us to do the show. We are always actively seeking sponsors. If you want to donate to the Big Ugly Sports Show, hit us up. But as they said, make sure you check us out wherever you're listening, and always feel free to hit us up on social media somewhere. But wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, Hike, tell them what to do.
Get on that bus.
Wipers with the swag like this, and they swishing. Yeah, they swishing. Ooh, yeah, swishing. Yeah, and they swishing. Swish. Got